Hello everyone, I'm Candace with Skylight Coaching, and in this video I'm going to be talking about one of my absolute favorite topics because it is one of the most adaptable and versatile psychological tools, and it's guided imagery and mental rehearsal training. So I want to get into what it is and 4 practical ways that you can use it to make an improvement and a difference in your life. I also do custom guided imagery and mental rehearsal trainings that are recorded and specifically written and developed for exactly what it is that you're trying to create. Okay, so let's get to it. What is guided imagery and mental rehearsal training? Well, guided imagery is where you're led to mentally simulate an experience that you ideally would like to have. And some people aren't exactly visual, some are more auditory or kinesthetic, or they process things more cognitively. But essentially, you can create those sensations and experiences in your mind. And guided imagery is really kind of a catch-all phrase to describe all of the different sensory inputs that it can be used with. And it can be used for a number of different things, but the 4 ways that I've been thinking about that could really just be a great quick fix is if you need to improve performance on any skill, from interviewing to dancing to skiing to conflict resolution to a presentation that you're going to be putting on for work, then this is definitely something that will help prepare you. And one thing that you can do when you do guided imagery, as opposed to in real life practice, is you're able to practice it perfectly. It's over and over and over again. And as you do that, the body doesn't know the difference between a real or imagined event. You are lighting up the circuitry so that when you go to do it, you're able to execute it with accuracy and precision. And another way that you can use this is to promote immediate relaxation. We're stressed out, we've got a lot going on, and sometimes just taking a moment and going into those subtle spaces can help us give our mind a complete reset. And if we're able to do that, then we're not pumping all this cortisol through our body. We're able to immediately relax in real time. And guided imagery uses a progressive body relaxation and other tools to help you get into that quiet, subtle space quickly and efficiently. And it gets easier each and every time you do it. And then the next is that it can help you heal faster. So if you have a cold, you can imagine yourself feeling better, being in a good mood, feeling light, feeling happy. If you are preparing for a surgery, you can imagine it going really well. If you can go into some medical procedure in a more relaxed and settled space, then your procedure is much more likely to go well anyway. But visualizing it really helps because the mind, the body, and the spirit are a fully integrated system. And this is one thing that I've noticed that if you apply guided imagery to can really expedite your healing process. And it's used really in conjunction with whatever you're already getting from a physician. So it's easily integratable into your pre-existing program for healing as well. And one lady I heard of that I thought gave a really interesting story is how she applied metaphor to her healing. Now, she had this continuous pain in her chest, like that just felt heavy and crushing. And the guided imagery specialist asked her, "What does it look like in your mind's eye?" She had to think about it for a second, but she said, "It feels like something's like on me." And he's like, "Okay, go further." And she says, "It feels like maybe an elephant is sitting on my chest." And so they created a guided imagery and visualization meditation around seeing this elephant get smaller and smaller and lighter until one day she said that she was doing this and it sprouted wings and flew off, and then she never had that pain in her chest again. Or some guy I heard of had what he would call a hot rod stuck in his back. And so they had him imagine taking that rod that was hot and burning sensation and put it in the river and watching the steam come off. And that helped him. So applying a metaphor is a really great way to use guided imagery to help you heal. And then the next thing is that it can help you attract and also notice what it is that you are trying to create in your physical environment. So as we visualize an ideal scenario or an ideal situation or whatever it is that we want using all 5 of our senses, we are priming the reticular activating system, which is this part of our brain that's responsible for things like attention and awareness to what's around us. You're priming that reticular activating system to notice the specific pieces of stimuli that are in the environment that may have otherwise completely overlooked. And it helps you to see those matching images or sensations. Now, I will say one thing is that it doesn't always look exactly the way you thought that it would, which is something that's kind of interesting and mysterious about guided imagery. But when it comes to you, sometimes you get exactly what it looked like, but very often what you're going for is the feeling and the general experience that you would like to have in that scenario. And the reticular activating system helps you see all these little pieces of things and then match up quickly to things that are already there, because we're basically processing 11 billion bits of information per second. We're only consciously aware of, I've heard anything from like 8 to 14 to 40. So we are very limited in what we are aware is actually happening around us. And if you believe, or you can get on board with the idea that we get back to us through the law of attraction that which we put out into the world, think about the fact that when we visualize, all of these visual images or auditory sensations that we have simulating in our brain through everyday life, they are units of energy. And if you were to hook an electrode, up to your brain, it would be measuring, your visual cortex and see it light up, because basically that is a unit of energy, and that's what we end up attracting to us, what we focus on and what we feel. So these are some very effective and helpful ways to apply guided imagery. And if you would like more information or a customized guided imagery visualization recording, I would love to speak with you and hear about what it is that you're trying to create. So you can reach me at skylightcoaching.com. I'll see you there.